You got 30 governors right now in 30 different states across the country that are saying no to refugees. Meanwhile, Democratic mayors and governors across the country, they're promising an open door. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And it's becoming this party line outside of the governor of New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan, who is one of the few Democrats to say we're not going to take these refugees. You know, just 30 hours after these deadly attacks, you had the Democratic candidates there on stage for their debate, and they were saying it's our moral responsibility to let Syrians into our country. Watch this.
I believe that the United States has the moral responsibility with Europe, with Gulf countries, like Saudi Arabia, to make sure that when people leave countries like Afghanistan and Syria with nothing more than the clothing on their back, that of course we reach out.
I said we should go to 65.
65,000, that is. Hillary Clinton would like to bring in 65,000 refugees, a whole lot more than the president's talking about, which is 10,000 less than 6 weeks from now. Again, 65,000 refugees from Syria into the United States of America. The country, I got to say, it's not with her on this. The country isn't with President Obama on this either. Safety issues aside, this seems to be becoming a major political mistake, one that could cost the liberals the election. Conservative political analyst Gina Loudon joins me with more right now. And Gina, I mean, have the Democrats just handed it to the Republicans? I mean, this is an issue that I would say people on both sides of the aisle feel very strongly about. They want to be secure. They don't like the idea of 10 or 65,000 refugees coming to this country that haven't been vetted.
See, I think this spells out something so sinister in the character of the modern-day Democrat politician that I think they're more concerned about votes, Trish, than I think anything else, because these people, they're counting on them to come. Don't forget, they'll be counted in the census. They will all be dependent. In all likelihood, most of them will be dependents on our social things that the Democrats are going to dole out free stuff. You know that's going to happen, just like the illegals, where, by the way, terrorists come in the country that via Mexico, along with illegals also posing as Mexicans. This is the same thing. They want these people counted in the census so that they count as electoral votes so that the Democrats can win more elections.
You're only talking about 10,000, or in Hillary Clinton's case, 65,000 people. Is that enough to really move the needle?
It could be if they all go to California and New York, because those are, you have to look at this though, Trish. If my theory is not right about this, I'll be very surprised, because you're looking at who's lining up on this, and it's the Democrats are saying, yeah, we want them. The Democrat state governors are saying.
And I'm saying why? I mean, why? I mean, and again, Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire, a Democrat, is saying no, we're not going to take them in New Hampshire, but she's one of the few Democrats to do so. We have a letter that I want to show you, Gina, where you have Democratic mayors from around the country saying we will welcome refugees with open arms. We are writing to say that we stand ready to work with your administration to do much more and to urge you to increase still further the number of Syrian refugees the United States will accept for resettlement. 20 U.S. mayors, and included in that group you have Rahm Emanuel from Chicago, and you've got Bill de Blasio from New York City.
So my question is, why are they coming here in the first place? Why not Saudi Arabia? All of this is very suspect. There's an agenda here, Trish. This isn't about compassion by Democrats. I don't believe that, not for 1 second.
You think it's much more than that? I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, aside from just security concerns, wouldn't they have political concerns? And I'm a step back from you. You've taken it forward. But my question is, how are you going to get elected when you don't have the country on that side? I mean, people are so shaken by what they saw in the streets of Paris, and they're so shaken by the threat of terror that they don't want to risk bringing thousands of people that you just can't. And we heard earlier from members of the president's own administration saying it's going to be extremely difficult to vet these people. So I don't know how Hillary Clinton, or Bernie Sanders for that matter, would win an election on this platform.
And I'll tell you how, because their issues are so different. We not only differ ideologically in parties now, we truly are living in two separate worlds. I just saw a poll that said the top 3 issues to Democrats. Do you know that only 2% of Democrats consider terror a top 3 issue? Number 1 is economic inequality and, of course, climate change. And so When those are the things you're concerned about, I don't know. There's a massive
Let me share
denial.
with you this just crossing right now as we speak. Hillary Clinton is tweeting, and she says, "quote We have seen a lot of hateful rhetoric from the GOP, but the idea that we'd turn away refugees because of religion is a new low." Gina, is this hateful or is this just practical?
No, the new low in the hatred is coming from Hillary Clinton, who doesn't seem to care that, oh, by the way, we already have a $19 trillion debt, and oh, by the way, that our kids have to pay. We already have horrible crime. We already have high unemployment.
So
what about the
afford
Americans? Why is she not asking that question?
We can't afford them.
No.
And then there's the reality of a real security threat. I mean, they're talking about one of these terrorists having gotten to Paris by way of a Syrian passport going into Greece. And that's what's really scary. And we've had a number of intelligence officials on this show that have said there's no way you can possibly vet all of these people.
Of course
and their
not.
concern is that ISIS will seed these refugee populations with members of their own jihadist group.
And they absolutely will. I mean, why would they not? I mean, you have to just be logical here. If terrorists are already coming in the country via illegal immigration, that is so rampant. In my home state of California, for example, Trish, you can go, you can vote, you can get a driver's license. Illegal means nothing. They have every right that a citizen has. In fact, in some ways, they have more rights because of course you can't profile them and you can't,
Well,
so. It's not, this is the same process that they have done with illegal immigration. Don't you remember
And you think it's politically
when that was a
minded?
big deal and we thought
Yeah.
that was a political hot potato? And look at them now.
Gina, good to have you here. Thank
to
you
be
very
with
much.
you.
It's
Thanks
good to
for
have you
having
on the
me.
East Coast.
Yeah,
right,
loved
we'll
it.
see you back from that pretty shot in California. We have those nice boats right behind you. Breaking right now, everyone. We've got some more news we want to get to outside of the